Howdy neighbors, Christopher Henry with the Noy Mountain Music Teaching Channel, and thank you for coming back here. Today we're going to be looking at some Monroe Style practice exercises that you can utilize in your Gruntwork section of your practice. So it's going to be stuff like this. So on and so forth. We're also going to be looking at an ascending infinity pattern exercise, which will be like this. But before we get into that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my weekend, which was real fun. And if you just want to skip through all the talking, you can cruise on down to where the lesson starts, maybe minute 3 or 4, something like that. So we had a recording session set up with my dad, Red Henry, and this is going to be for the new Red and Christopher album. And we did triple mandolin tunes with Wyatt Ellis, and we had Marshall Wilbur playing the bass, and David McLaughlin playing the guitar from the Johnson Mountain Boys. And we recorded Red Zeppelin and Liberty and Stony Lonesome. And there was one more, which was called, what was that other one we did? Oh yeah, Tallahassee. So that was real fun. My big challenge was, it was a remote recording session, so I took all my recording gear up to Winchester, except for one very important thing, which was the snake that allows me to accept mic level inputs into the interface. I have another snake that allows me to take line level inputs into the machine, but I've forgotten to take the one that just brings the mic levels in there. And so it was a curveball. It's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Can I rig up this PA head to like have an output that's mic level or that's line level that allows me to? These are all the technical kind of curveballs that you'll get into with the remote recording. But luckily, Marshall had a DI into the preamp that we were able to use, and it all turned out very well. So we kind of ran through each tune 3 times, and then at the end we went through all of them one more time, and we got some really good stuff. We're looking forward to sharing that with y'all when the time is right. And then I had practice with Peter Rowan, and that was the main reason I was up there for the Watermelon Park Festival. It's an old festival that goes back to the 60s. My dad, my Uncle John went there when they were in their formative stages. Was one of the first big bluegrass festivals that ever gave, and that's been off and on running. But I was playing up there with Peter, and he wanted to enlist Blaine Sprouse, who used to play in the Peter Rowan band, to play fiddle along with David Mansfield. So we're gonna have twin fiddles. And so that's always an interesting situation when you have 2 great musicians who are getting together for the first time to play twin fiddles together, working out the parts, all that kind of stuff. So we had a big, long 2.5-hour rehearsal. Mike Munford was playing the banjo, Mike Bubb was playing the bass. Got some stuff going. And one of the numbers I got suggested was Close By. Peter's like, can you sing that? I was like, yeah, it's been a while. But sang that, was feeling good. I was playing Randy Wood #1, my dad's main mandolin. And it had recently been repaired, so the big, huge sound and the chop was there. I was really excited about it. Peter said, that sounds just like Bill Monroe's mandolin. It was very exciting to play. So we had the big, long 2.5-hour rehearsal, and then I went upstairs where Wyatt was with his band rehearsing for his set. And we ran through some stuff, and I let him play Randy Wood #1, which was really open at that time. Sometimes when you play mandolins, it takes an hour or so to get really warmed up and vibrating. And he was just big smile, and he played it for about an hour there. So Peter knocks on the door, and he comes in, and we rehearsed the old Crossroads, and he was working on his tenor part, and I was getting my baritone part in there. There's one little part we were working on where the baritone jumps above the lead because the tenor goes up there on the chorus. It's like, oh, Crossroads now is waiting, what are you gonna? One leads down, but the lead goes 1 leads down. So if the tenor jumps up 1 leads down, that means the baritone part has to jump above the lead. It's one of those cool bluegrass moves. So we worked on that a little bit, and that was fun. We just picked and picked and picked, and then went over to Watermelon Park, and we taught the mandolin workshop at Watermelon Park. That was a lot of fun. Again, we did some of that triple mandolin stuff and took some questions. My mom played in the band contest with Murphy's Bluegrass Bandits. That was really fun. And then Wyatt had his set, and that was really good. The band sounded great. Anissa was doing good filling in there. And he got Red up to do the bass part on Take a Little Trip to the Pleiades. That was a lot of fun. And then we did the triple mandolins on Red Zeppelin, which was fun. Mike Bubb got a good video of that went on Instagram. And then Peter came out and did the old Crossroads, and the wind started blowing, and that was a lot of fun. And then he got David McLaughlin out to do the Maury River Blues, one of his big flagship tunes from the Johnson Mountain Boys days. That sounded so wonderful. You know, his chops just so strong and perfectly at the right time and all that. Bit of minimalism there, just great style and flavor flow. And they were kind of milling about the festival. I had a good burrito, and then Peter's set was later in the evening, and it was getting a little bit cooler, but we had the twin fiddles going, and I sang Close By, and Gotta Travel On, and lots of other good stuff. So that was a really fun weekend. Just wanted to share some of that with you. And so now let's get into the main lesson for today. All right, so we're going to be working with staggered arpeggios, and if you don't know those, you can check them out in this video right here. And we're going to pair that with the Slidey Lick. Okay, so these are two of our favorite Monroe devices, and if you don't know the Slidey Lick, you can check it out here. I'm not going to teach those note for note because they're already in the videos that you might have already seen. What we're going to do is a chromatic practice grunt work exercise that's going to pair the staggered arpeggios with the Slidey Lick as we're going up chromatically. Okay, so we're going to start in G with staggered arpeggios. We're going to play one bar of the staggered arpeggio. You can end on the and of 4 if you like. It'll sound like this. And the count is going to be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. Okay, so that's in G. And then we're going to play our Slidey Lick in G sharp. All right, so that's going to start on your 6th fret of the A. Again, that's one full bar of the Slidey Lick. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. And when you're doing that, just try to get it exactly perfect with your details and your articulation. You can end on the and of 4. If you're a little bit more advanced with it, you can drop to the upstroke like we talked about sometimes to connect all the 16th notes together. But that's the pattern. So we're starting in G with the staggered arpeggios, doing the Slidey Lick in G sharp, and then we're going to start over with the staggered arpeggios in A, Slidey Lick in B flat. So just talking about why we're doing this, we want to imprint this muscle memory into our fingers so it becomes more automatic. So in G, you're starting your staggered arpeggios on the open G. In G sharp, your Slidey Lick is going to start on the 6th fret of the A. And then we're going to come back to the 2nd fret of the G to start our staggers again, all the way up. And then our Slidey is going to start on the 8th fret of the A. So the little game here is when you finish your staggered arpeggios, you're going to be ending on your ring finger. And then you just slide that up 1 fret. You don't have to slide it, you can place it 1 fret up on the A string to start your Slidey Lick. So that's the real thing you want to look for, the connection. 1 fret up with your ring finger to start your Slidey Lick. And then the tricky thing is to remember what your next note that's going to start the staggered arpeggio is going to be. So staggers in A, ending on the 7th fret of the A, then slide that 1 fret up to your 8th fret of the A, start your Slidey there. So that's B flat. So then we're going to start our ascension in B, 4th fret of the G. Again, 1 fret up with your ring finger, start on the 10th fret of the A for C, Slidey Lick. And now since we're getting up at the neck, it's kind of hard to remember where to go after that. But we just finished Slidey in C, so we're going to start our staggered arpeggio in C sharp, 6th fret of the G. And one more Slidey Lick in D. All right. And at that point, you can just come down basically the same way you came up, just backwards. You can do your D staggered again. Then slide your ring finger back 1 fret, 11th fret of the A, and do your Slidey in C sharp. You just gotta remember that that's C sharp, so our next staggered is gonna be in C, coming down 5th fret of the G. And then Slidey in B. So that's the 9th fret of the A to start that one. That's Slidey in B. It's a little confusing, but stay with it, hack through it, and it can be a really good practice exercise. We finished Slidey in B. That means we're going to do staggers in B flat, which is the 3rd fret of the G. Slidey in A. Then staggers in G sharp. And Slidey in G. So that is a lot. Let's play it through slowly. But before we do, please like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little bell there for the notifications, and you'll get all the good stuff from Rowan Mountain Music. Thank you. And please consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/NoyaMountainMusic. Here we go. 1, 2, staggers in G. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and slidey in G sharp. Staggered in A. Slidey in B flat. 4th fret of the G, staggers in B. Slidey in C. 2 more. Staggers in C sharp. Slidey in D. Start over in D with your staggers. Slidey in C sharp. Staggers in C. Slidey in B. Staggered in B flat. Slidey in A. 2 more. Staggers in G sharp. Slidey in G to finish out. You can build speed with that, but that's a really good Monroe style grunt work practice that you can be doing to get your muscle memory going. So when you want to pull those slidey licks out and the staggered licks, you'll have more familiarity with how to root them and to figure out which anchor notes to go for. All right, let's move on to the infinity lick. So we're starting infinity, and if you don't know the infinity pattern, you can check it out in this video right here. Okay, but start on the major third of E, in this case, 1st fret of the G. So we'll play our full infinity up to the 7th fret of the E. And so the infinity pattern itself is not necessarily always staggered. It's just basically the arpeggio notes starting on a major third. In this case, we're doing the staggered texture with it. So starting on a down, and then each new note is going to be an upstroke, then a downstroke as you're moving through the arpeggio sequence. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Again, ending on that downstroke there with a modern count, that's the and of 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. And then we're going to start the infinity pattern going backwards from the 8th fret of the E, which is going to put us in the key of F. We just continue that pattern, ascending through F sharp, which is the 3rd fret of the G. The pattern stays the same. The frets are just 1 more up. And then now we're in G, coming down from the 10th fret of the E. G sharp, starting on the 5th fret of the G. And our last one, in this context, is going to be coming down through A, 12th fret of the E. And you can do different things, but you might just kind of do that same idea that we did with the first exercise, repeating the A descending infinity from the 12th fret of the E. And if you want to do that backwards, you can do ascending through G sharp. Descending through G. Ascending through F sharp. Descending through F. Ascending through E. And maybe just closing out with one more. Okay, so let's try that whole thing slowly. So it's the infinity sequence, ascending in your first key, E, descending through your next key, which is F, and just keep repeating that sequence. So here we go. 1, 2, going slow. That's E. Come down through F. Up through F sharp, down through G, ascending through G sharp, descending through A, descending through A again, ascending through G sharp, descending through G, ascending through F sharp, descending through F, and ascending through E, and then maybe just taking it home from E again. Okay, so that's a great Gruntwork Monroe Style exercise to be getting that infinity shape into your muscle memory a little bit better. That's the whole thing, neighbors, and thank you for checking it out. If you like the video, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to. Hit the little bell notification so you know we come up with something new. And put a little comment if you want to tell us what you're connecting with or what you'd like to see featured on the channel. We want to help where we can. And thank you very much for all the folks who have joined us on Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel further, think about going to patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music and checking out the different tiers there. Got a lot of different lick of the month kind of things on guitar and mandolin. And then there's a monthly Noya Mountain Music workshop that's happening. Our next one is coming up next Sunday. I believe it's the 22nd. It's on a Sunday from 4 to 6. It's going to be on backup. And that's free to family tree tier members on Patreon. I'm not sure if some of y'all are aware of that. There are lots of good rewards on there. You can check them out. Thanks to all the folks who've been supporting us there. And we will see ya on the next one. Adios, neighbors. And tomorrow we're heading out to Nashville to celebrate the life of my great aunt Lynn Hedgecough. And some of y'all might have heard me talk about her husband John Hedgecough, who is a great banjo player, who was actually a bluegrass boy filling in for Bob Black in 1975. And I got the Station Inn t-shirt here, and Aunt Lynn and Uncle John were the first people to ever play the stage of the Station Inn back in 1974. There's a beautiful story all about that, but she passed away a few months back, and so we're going to the Station Inn to honor her life, and so we're really looking forward to that.